Okay, I'd like to give you a brief demo of the manual capabilities of the G2. I've been waiting for someone to make a digital equivalent of my favorite film camera, the Nikon FM-2, which was a compact camera with manual focus and exposure, but Nikon seems to have abandoned that market in the digital world. I know most people buy a digital camera for the bells and whistles, and this has them. It has all the auto exposure modes that I'll ever need. Autofocus, it's got facial recognition, 23 area mode. It's got an auto tracking feature that'll lock onto a subject and follow it around. I'll quickly show you the single point mode because it works so well with the touch screen. To set your focus point, you simply touch on it and you can change the size of the focus box, and that's the area you'll focus on. You can even do that in one step by turning this on, and then as soon as you touch the screen, it'll focus and shoot at the same time. But we'll turn that off. Okay, but next I want to show you the manual focus mode, which now when it's set to manual focus, when you touch the screen, it'll zoom in 5 times. You can pan around by either touching the screen or using the cursor buttons, and you can zoom in 2 more times by touching the little magnifying glass icon, and that allows a pretty accurate focus with the high resolution LCD screen. To get back to full frame, you either touch the cancel icon, the menu button, tap the thumb wheel or the shutter button, and you're ready to shoot. It'll also automatically zoom in if you turn the ring if you're in manual focus mode, and it even works pretty well through the electronic viewfinder by using the thumb wheel. It even has a depth of field preview button, which will stop the aperture down and give you a preview of the shutter speed effect too, which is a nice touch. Okay, but what I'm really leading into is that this works very well with my old manual focus Nikon lenses. Here's a 35mm Nikon AIs manual focus lens coupled to a Nikon to micro 4/3 adapter that you can get on eBay or Amazon. Get that on. Power back up. Okay, I also want to mention that the micro 4/3 sensor size will give you a 2x multiplier, so my 35mm lens will essentially be a 70mm. It's great if you like telephoto, not so great if you like wide angle. I also want to mention that for this to work, you're going to have to find in the menu the shoot without lens mode and turn that on. Otherwise, it works the same way. Touch on the area, pan, zoom in more, and focus. Also, the G2 does meter in this configuration. Right now it's set in manual mode and 1/30th of a second, and there's a little plus or minus bar scale in the center of the LCD screen, and you can simply turn the aperture until it zeroes out, and right there is the proper exposure, which is 1/30th of a second at f/5.6. So there's your exposure. And the G2 will even work in aperture priority auto exposure mode. We'll set that to A. Now it'll automatically pick the right shutter speed based on your aperture. You can see we'll tap the shutter and it says it's 1/30th of a second at f/5.6, and I'll open that to 2.8, and now it's reading 125th of a second. So now you have an aperture priority automatic exposure camera. So, there it is. There's my digital FM-2 that I've been waiting for. Is that cool or what?